Alright, so we're ready for another video. We're going to be talking about glucometers and visual impairment. That is right, guys. The legally blind guy, Sam, back with another video. So, without further ado, the video might be kind of long, so we're going to get right to it, cut to the chase. So let's just roll that intro, baby. This is diabetes related, diabetes and visual impairment, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about glucometers in this video and basically choosing the right one. So if you're blind or visually impaired and you're diabetic, which I am both, that's right. I'm visually impaired, blind in one eye, restricted visual field over here. Yeah, I've said it many times before. 2100 vision. Ooh, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, I mean, I have my challenges, congenital nystagmus, glaucoma, you name it, myopia, and, okay, I'm going to say it straight out front, cataract formation. Just found that out in my last doctor's appointment. So I'm also developing a cataract. No surgery will be done right now, but it will be done later. So anyway, we're going to move on with this quick video, just real quick here. Yeah. Picking my nose in front of the camera. Well, not really. I just kind of had an itch there. Anyway, going off topic. So what we're going to be talking about today are glucometers, and I have many videos on glucometers. I have unboxings and all that. But today we're going to talk about glucometers and being visually impaired, and then basically my recommendations, my advice on choosing the right glucometer if you're blind or visually impaired. Alright, so yeah, let's get to it. We're gonna get to the video. So since this video has to do with visual impairment, blind, I'm gonna show you all the symbol of blind or visually impaired. Yeah, this is an ID cane, the symbol of a visually impaired person. So yeah, thought I'd throw that in. Anyway, so this is. Let's get to the topic. Glucometers. So, you know, if you're not blind or visually impaired, you usually can just get by with any glucometer, just about any one. If you're blind or visually impaired, you might want to think about, there might want to be some things you might want to consider when choosing a glucometer. Alright, so one and foremost is basically one that's easy to read. If you just have low vision, whether if it's mild to moderate low vision, or if you're more profound or more severe, choosing the right glucometer is probably one thing you want to take into consideration. First and foremost, I have 4 glucometers in front of me here. I have the, what's this, the Rely On? Okay. I have, this is the first one right here. This is the Rely On Prime. One touch verio flex. Nystagmus is pretty bad, guys. Really shaky. Okay, and the one touch. Ooh. Oh my, one touch. Okay, the one touch Ultra 2, which has low batteries. And this is the one touch verio right here. So we're going to show them to you right here. There are also some meters that talk. I don't have any with me at the current time. I do have a video, and I may or may not post the link. Not too sure. I want to know how to do the YouTube cards. Everybody does that now. Yeah, I still don't know how to do that. Sam, you still don't know how to do that? Everybody does it on YouTube. Okay, I better get on the ball, right? Anyway, So, okay, so first and foremost, what you want, if you have low vision, you want to choose a glucometer that's going to give you a nice, big, bold display. You know, I had a one-touch mini that had a tiny display like that. The numbers were bold enough, but it was small. So, unless if you don't mind holding it up really close. So here we are with the one-touch prime. We're going to turn this one on. Now, the one-touch prime does have a pretty nice display right there, but as you can see, it's not, I mean, you can probably see that. Let me see if I can pull up a reading here, the memory. First and foremost, you want the buttons to be easy to read. It's kind of small for me to be able to know which is which. Okay, so as you can see the display right there. Okay, well, hold on. Let's find another one. Okay. Whoa, okay. Where was that? Okay, that was... Okay. I had a blood sugar of 312. That's gotta be... That was probably last year, I think, because I know I wasn't 312. But anyway, 312... By the way, that's not my blood sugar right now. That was from way back then. I haven't used this meter in quite a while. As you can see, that's a nice big display, but if you still have some visual issues, if your vision's very low, you might not be able to read this one because the numbers are simply just, they're not very bold. It's not a very bold display. It's big, but not very bold. The time is also very difficult to read, and the buttons are kind of small. Now, if your low vision is not that severe, you could get by with something like this. So, yeah, it just depends on how well you can see. That's the Rely-On Prime. So we're moving on to the One Touch Verio Flex, which I think is dead. I don't think I can show you a display on that one. Yeah. This one's dead. Oh, no. No, it's not. Okay. This one also, as being visually impaired, I can use this one. I can get by with it just fine. But however, the numbers, they could be a little more bold. You know what I mean? Now, if I hold it back here, way back here, if I hold it like way back here, which you're probably not going to be holding your meter that far back anyway, I can't read it. But if I get it up to about, if I can get it up to about right here, is where I can see it comfortable enough. Now, even holding it up this close, I still can't see the date and time very well. Got to get it up really close, and I got to squint, and even then I can't see it because I pull my glasses off because my bifocals don't let me go up that close. Okay, so I can... You know, guys, I still can't read that. There's a display up here, way up here up on top. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. That's way up there. You see that? The time. It is so little. I mean, you can't see the time or date. You can see the number pretty well. But as you can see, you know, through my experience right now, I cannot read that. I would have to go grab a magnifier and all that stuff. So, so yeah, if your vision's, you know, pretty low enough, I mean, if it's not that bad, you can use it. But however, if you still have, you might still have some issues with the time and date on this. This is the One Touch Verio Flex, like I just did. This is the One Touch Ultra 2, which I think this one has a low battery, a dead battery, I think. Let's see. Okay, let's say low battery. Let me see if I can pull up some. Readings here if it's gonna let me. Okay, I'm not sure if it's gonna let me because it's just giving me like a low battery warning. I don't think it's gonna let me. Okay, well, anyway, if you were to read the messages on this one, they look like this. So they're not very bold. So you might have some issues with that also if your vision's very low. Now, there is one plus on this one. The buttons are kind of easy to read. Still small, but the imprints are pretty bold enough. And the shapes. So you can also tell by the shapes of the buttons. So this one's a little bit better than the first two, because it's got discrete buttons as well. Another thing I want to show you, if I can, I'm going to turn it on real quick. This one actually has a backlight display, so if there were actual meter readings on this one, the backlight would kind of illuminate things and help you to see it better. And it's a nice amber color, so the contrast is very good. You know, so this is a good recommended one if you're low visually impaired. Well, if you're visually impaired with low vision, should I say. Well, Sam, get your words together. Okay, yeah, see, so this one is probably a big plus over the first two because it has that backlight. It's going to make things better. You can read it in the dark. The slots, if you're visually impaired, sometimes you might have trouble with the slots, but that's with all of them. So that's a good one right there. I can't show you readings on this one because the battery, it's not going to show me anything. See, this one with the slots are just, so it's pretty much the same. You might have trouble, on this one you might have trouble finding the slot because it's all black and there's no discrete markings on the slot, so you would have to just feel for it if your vision's pretty bad. Because with my level of vision, I have trouble finding the slot sometimes because it's not, there's no discrete markings or anything. This one's white, but you can kind of see where it goes. You can see the notch. You can't confuse it with anything else because the port's over here. And on this one, it's kind of pretty discreet too because you can see the notch. On that Rely on Prime, not because it's black, so it blends in too much. Let's see right there. Garbage truck going by. Okay. And now down to the fourth one that I have. This is just the one-touch Verio. There's the Verio IQ, which is the rechargeable one, which is probably the next one I'm going to be getting. I'm not too sure about that one. I'll think about it. So if you're low vision and you have this one could be, I would kind of recommend this one, but it might have its ups and downs. First and foremost, it doesn't have buttons that are very discrete. They're small, but they do have symbols on them, but they're very small. I can't read that right there. I know that's more likely the OK button because I've seen it under the magnifier, but it's very difficult to read. And this is your back button right here, but it's very small. And these are your up and down. They're not discrete buttons, so you would have to try to remember which is your up, which is down. So in comparison to this one touch, yeah, this is where you get a better perk with this one because it actually has discrete buttons, up and down and the circle. And this one, the one-touch Verio does not. So you just have to, if you can memorize that, that's well. The display on this one is a full color display, and I'm going to turn it on and show it to you right now. So you kind of get a bonus perk on this one because being visually impaired, this might help you because of the background display. The fonts aren't very big, so you might still have to hold it up pretty close like I do. I have to hold it up pretty close right here. So in comparison with me, 2100 vision, I've got to be about right here. And I can see it with my bifocal, but it just has to be right here. Just like that. That's about as close as I have to hold it, you can imagine. So this is what it looks like. Okay, again, this one, it's nice because it tells you that it's night and day. I don't think the camera's picking that up too well. Yeah, there it is. I got it tilted. The time and date are very small. It's very difficult to read, so that's a downside on this, as is with the other ones. Now let's go back to the Prime, the Rely on Prime. The time and date on this one is a bit larger. It's a bit larger than what it is on this one. See, on this one it's a lot smaller. Probably a little more difficult to see. But for me anyway. Because on this one I can see it a little bit better. Still have difficult, but a little bit better. And it's harder to see on this one. I have to bring it up closer. Now the readings. The number readings are okay. They're bold. I like the fact that it has big bold numbers right here. So you might be able to see this one if your vision is not too severe. If you're about between 2100 or 2200 or so, 2080 or somewhere like that, this one should work for you. This side of the display will be a little difficult to read Now, when you take a blood sugar reading, it basically just shows you the big, bold number. Now, that is very easy to see because it takes up the whole screen and it shows you big, black, bold numbers. So that's good on this one. Okay, so that's a good one right there. And let's see if we turn this one off. And the slot. Okay, so you have a USB. This is a micro USB, and you have the slot right here, which is also kind of discreet as well, because you have the. If you can remember, because it is possible that if you're totally blind, you could mix this one up. But if you're totally blind, you probably would not be using this one, or any of these for the matter. If you're totally blind, you would probably just have to go with a talking meter that just talks, because none of these here have the speech. But if you have severe low vision to where you can't find the slot where to put the strip, you might confuse this with a slot. This is a USB. This is a slot. You might, and let's see if you can remember. If you can feel the discreteness of the different sides. So it's all just a matter of if you can remember which is which. You won't get confused. So those are the four. And the other meter that I had that I don't have with me right now was the One Touch Mini. That's a small display. It gives bold numbers, but it's kind of small. So out of these four, which one would I recommend the most? Well, I would actually, straight hands up, I would probably, if your vision's not too bad, you can go with these. If your vision's pretty bad, I would recommend either this one, the One Touch Ultra, or the One Touch Verio. Full color display, big bold numbers. This one kind of gives big bold numbers too, but also has a backlit soft amber display, as I showed you before. And this one kind of wins. This one kind of stands out above the other ones because of the discrete buttons. So if you have to feel the buttons, it has the discrete, like you can actually feel which is the up button, which is the down button, and which is the OK. And that's about it. It's very simple layout. These ones have big bold, kind of bold markings, but if you still can't see them, yeah, you will know which is up and down. If you're holding it like this, you can kind of still tell. But it's all in the matter of remembering what's what. Now, if you can memorize the layout to any of these meters, you won't have much of a problem. That's it right here, see? These buttons are kind of discreet, but when it comes to tactile, this one wins. Right here. Straight out. If you have to rely solely on tactile feedbacks, the One Touch Ultra wins. But, like I said, if you're totally blind, or if your vision is too severe that you cannot see any of these talking meters, go with a talking meter. The Prodigy is one that I have a video on that one, and there are several other talking meters. You can just ask your local pharmacist to see if they carry any. Liberty Medical, I think, has talking meters as well. So yeah, I just thought I'd do this quick video. It's glucometers and low vision, and comparing the 4 meters that I have. So yeah, so I would say this one first place because of the tactile, and it also has a backlit display, and it does give you big bold numbers. Now, there are parts of this meter that might be difficult to read. If you want to go into the averages and all that, that text might be a little smaller. In second place, I would honestly say this one, of course. This one. The displays very well, but the buttons are not so discreet. They're kind of small. Like I say, it all depends if you can memorize what it is. I'll put this one in second place. And in third place, I would say this one, the Rely on Prime from Walmart, which is also very cheap. The strips are not expensive for this one. So if you don't have insurance and you can't afford a lot, the Rely on Prime, although like I said, the display is not as good as the 2 One Touches, but it'll work if your vision's suitable enough for it. And last, but this one, the VarioFlex gets last place because tactile is not very good. And the display is pretty good. Numbers are kind of bold. However, the date and time is very difficult to see. Very difficult. Practically impossible without magnification. So that's why I give this one the last place. One Touch Verio Flex. Sorry. Alright. So, yeah. This was a diabetes and low vision video. So giving y'all just comparison there. So hope this video is helpful to you guys out there in the VIP community, visual impaired community, blind community, to help you all choose the right meter that's going to suit your needs as a blind or visually impaired individual. So with that said and done, I'm done with this video. I'll see you guys later. Got more videos coming up, and so you guys take care, and y'all just have a great day. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and end the video right here.